morning, everybody. Oh, so cold. So cold. I did light off a burner on the stove just to warm the cabin up just for a little bit. Not sure exactly what I'm going to do today. I'm going to look at the inverter and how I want to set that up. And I'm going to start pulling some wire. I've got some stuff for the AC and some stuff for the DC side. I want to start running some wire from the panel up to the front of the boat because I'd like to wire in the few 110 volt outlets that I have. We got one back here at the galley behind the rum bottles, one here, one in the head, and there's one up in the forward cabin. So I'm going to go ahead and wire all those back in just so I have it. And I'm going to run some DC wiring at the same time because I want to add in a few of these little outlets, some of the USB stuff and some of the cigarette lighter style, just to have the option of either or in a couple of places. Nothing big, but I just want to have the ability to plug in a phone or something somewhere else, computer, who knows what. I'm going to start working on my inverter. All is good. Last weekend I pulled in a bunch of wiring for my 110 and a little bit of 12 volt stuff. Had a really good conversation with myself about what went on last weekend on Saturday when I got to meet the folks from Sailboat Story. That was just such a good time, and just some really good conversation. You know, having been to the Bahamas 4 times, of course, he's obviously, I would call him a veteran, and he's got really good advice. And, you know, the one thing that I came up with, and just my own little bit of philosophy, if you can spend the night on your boat, you can spend a week on your boat, okay? And if you can spend a week on your boat, you can spend a month on your boat. And if you can spend a month, you can do a season in the Bahamas. So I already know I can spend more than one night on this boat, and I feel there'd be really no problem doing a week. The biggest thing, I think, my biggest obstacle at this point would be figuring out a menu and how to provision for the Bahamas, you know, because it's tailored to whatever you like and whatever you can prepare. You know, obviously some people have more skills in that areas than some people might not. But in any case, that is how I'm looking at things now. Really, there's just a few things that I feel like I need to get done before I would go, but I will share that with you when the time comes. In the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and try to finish this up because I want to finish up this bit of wiring and get the inverter hooked up, and I'll let you know how it goes. I'll probably be finishing up the inverter tomorrow. Hey. So yep, big smile on my face here. We have the inverter installed. It's working properly. I have 120 volts throughout the boat. Check it out behind me. I got a fan plugged in up forward, running away. Over here in the galley, charging up one of my batteries. Let's see what else. Oh, over here, because check this out. There's my phone charging away. And so my outlets are the style that has 2 USB plugs on each of them. And I'm still going to put in a couple of these type of cigarette lighter outlets. Mostly I want to run some over here because I'm pretty sure this is where my fridge is going to end up, is over here. I'm probably either going to have a second one of that size, that 20 liter size I think they call it, or I'm just going to buy a bigger dual zone. Let me show you how I did it. So here is the inverter. One thing I did that I'd probably get flack about is you can see I used an extension cord here for the 120 side, for the outlet of this. I just didn't like running that cable with the regular marine style sheathing. I just felt like I wanted something a little stronger, a little better. Now the main reason you would use marine wire, of course, is because it's tinned, which resists corrosion. This wire is copper, but it's not tinned. I still like this better because this is heavier covering on this from where it runs. But I'm okay with it because this end is sealed right here, and it's also sealed inside here because all of my terminals are sealed. Don't touch that because it'll shock you. So in any case, I'm super happy with it. It's powered off the battery switch, so I can run it on either set of batteries if I ever had to. I'm feeling really good about everything that I've got done here. Speaking of which, let's see what we're pulling at this point. Kind of curious with these various things going. All right, so we're just under 6 amps, pulling just under 6 amps DC at this point. That's not bad. With the fan, charger, well, 2 things charging. So yeah, anyway, you know, but I am super happy with this. I'm telling you what, I am just super happy. That was a big project, actually. It's not that easy getting all that wiring pulled and terminating everything. Super happy, just super happy. Back at the boat again on hopefully the last weekend working on this electrical stuff. I really don't know how I'm going to put this video together, to be honest. It's difficult when you're working through multiple weekends to make a coherent video sometimes, but we're going to try. As you've seen, we've got the inverter in and working. Gonna modify things a little bit. My old controller, come to find out that that is a PWM style controller, which is not as efficient as newer MPPT styles. I am not going to sit here and try to explain all the differences. There's a really good website out there called Marine How To. Went on to some forums, most notably SailNet, that I really like. It's a very friendly forum, very helpful people there most of the time. And just asked the question, you know, about solar controllers, and that's how I came to find out that my old one is just a PMW, yeah, whatever. I had already picked this one out, actually. It was only $67 on Amazon, and the Marine How To website actually lists this as one of the ones they would recommend, so I'm pretty happy about that. And a couple reasons why I'm doing that. This one will allow me to put my panels in series. The other thing that I really like about this is it has a Bluetooth app. So I can go in and set parameters for what I want it to do as far as voltages and everything, on the bulk, the absorption, and the float phases. So that's really, you know, that's good stuff. You want your system to be as efficient as possible. Get as much amperage out of your panels as you can. So I'll be getting rid of that little display. I won't need it. I'll have the Bluetooth app. I can check things that way. I may put a basic voltmeter in somewhere just so at a glance I can see where my batteries are. Yeah, we'll just have to look at that. Now the other thing I'm going to do is, when that's out of the way, I picked this up off of eBay for 26 bucks. It's basically brand new. You can't even really tell that it was used. But that's going to be the engine start, and it's going to go back in the panel there. And we're going to get that done. We're going to get this put in instead of the other one. That's fairly simple, just disconnecting, mounting, and all that sort of stuff. Also got a little bit more 10 gauge 2 conductor wiring to run some of the power outlets that I talked about. And I'm not really sure how I'm going to run it, because there's not an easy way to get around to that side over there where I want them to be. But that's what I want to use to power the fridges the refrigerators that I will have, and I do say plural. I've decided that I will just buy a second fridge, probably a little bit larger than my first one, because I've been starting to thinking about provisioning and everything, and I want the redundancy of having two separate little refrigerators. I've got the room for it, and I want that, so if one of them dies, I've still got a fridge. And one of them the smaller one probably I'll just use as a freezer, so that I can have and can take with me at least a small supply of frozen goods. So yep, all is good. I'm gonna get to work on this. I'll show you my progress as we go along, and hopefully by the end of this weekend, engine will be back up and running. All my DC and AC will be done, and we can move on to the next project. All right. So the battery switch went fine. Went ahead and did that real quick. That was pretty straightforward. I've removed the line that runs from the controller to the little display. I have disconnected the panels and taken the precaution of taping off the positive side. And what the heck, let's just go ahead and tape off the other one too. So I'm thinking that what I may do is have a giveaway for this old controller, if somebody has a use for it. So I'm going to put that out there when this video hits, that if somebody wants this controller, that I will ship it to you. I think I got some kind of metal splinter in my thumb too, I'm going to have to look at. But in any case, I'm going to remove this, mount the other one, get it hooked back up, and we'll see what goes on. And then I'll make a little more formal announcement. Okay, I want you to check this out. This is pretty cool. So over here, got this hooked up to the portable panel, and it's not optimally set in any place, and it is partially shaded, but I'm still getting almost 8 amps out of it. And over here you can see that we got well, 9.5, a pretty steady 9.5 right there. I got my voltage where it should be because I've got the panels hooked in series now. So I mean, right there we're adding in close to 18 amps right now. So you know, granted it's noon, although like I said, it's a slightly overcast sky. We got stuff like that up there, a lot of these little high cirrus type clouds everywhere. But man, so I do believe that in the peak of the day, you know, I think I can probably pick up a good 100 amp hours a day out of this, maybe more, I don't know, but that's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. Definitely it'll run my fridges, I'm pretty sure. You know, I don't have, you know, got the, maybe we'll have the water maker. Hopefully we'll have the water maker, and that'll be a draw every once in a while, but it'll be interesting to see. I think I've optimized this about as good as I could. I'm pretty happy. Pretty stinking happy. This is what I've got. Here is my old controller and the display that works with it, connecting cable and temperature sensor. And essentially what I'm going to do is I will ship it within the continental US for free. Just either, you know, make a comment, contact me through the YouTube people. Just give me a good reason why you need it. You know, I'd like to hear somebody out there getting ready to do the same thing I am. You know, trying to get their boat ready. This is a component that you need or that would help you out. And, you know, whoever convinces me that they should have it, I'm going to send it to you for free. So, there you have it. That's all there is to it. It's very simple. I hope this really helps somebody out. And I want to hear what's going on with you, whoever you may be. So, there's that part. Okay, working on the 12 volt still, pulling in some 10-2 to run the cigarette style outlets for the refrigerators, and I managed to find a way to run it behind, well, where the settee backs would be, through this little corner up in here, and it comes down underneath. I did have to drill a hole up in here, and I was real nervous about doing that because essentially this is the hull of the boat, so you know you don't want to put a hole in there. But anyways, it comes out underneath the floorboards into the bilge, ran it along up behind the panel. So pulled the wire. That was a really good thing. Now we just got to drill some holes, mount the stuff, wire it to the panel. I'm going to clean that up a little bit and get rid of some of the stuff that's no longer being used, and hopefully I'll have room for everything when we get done. But yep, continual progress, man. It always feels good when you keep making progress, man. Got to work toward them goals. All right. Whew, man, I'm tired. I have been working pretty steady on these projects. Turn my music down a little. I'm gonna call it a wrap. I really feel like I've got just a ton of stuff done. And so let me give you just a recap of everything I've been able to accomplish. There is the completed solar installation. There is the completed inverter installation. And it's just working fantastic. I could not be happier with that. Everything is really done. Sorry about that. Here's the fridge. I've got outlets on either side over here. They're powered up. I've still got to relabel some of the breakers. Just being able to plug in a vacuum cleaner is so convenient, man. So convenient. Oh my gosh. But anyways, I'm just super happy. Yesterday I had the meter out. I had the other panel hooked in. I had 18 amp hours coming in through the solar. Just everything is working really well, and could not be happier with all of it. If you see something glaringly wrong, point it out. I don't mind. So I'm gonna chill out for the rest of the day, eat some lunch, relax. My next project that I'll be filming, it will be the mast steps. But in the meantime, old man, over and out.